David, I want you to weigh in on Bitcoin. Noah Rubini was on the other day, absolutely scathing. We had Scott Minerd of Guggenheim yesterday talking about the scarcity factor, the proxy to gold, and that Bitcoin would go now from 10 to 20 up to $400,000 per whatever the unit is of the unit. David Rosenberg on Bitcoin. Discuss.
Well, I'll just say that, you speak to most people that are asking me to put money in Bitcoin. They can't even tell you who the person was that developed it or even how it's actually mined. So it's just a classic follow the herd, extremely crowded trade. It's in a massive bubble. And everybody seems to believe that, we're going to get to that 21 million cap on the supply constraint. But there's really nothing in the protocol to suggest that the supply of Bitcoin can't go up once we hit that limit. The one thing we do know about gold is we know the supply curve of gold with certainty. We don't know the future supply curve of Bitcoin. People think they know, but they don't really know. So I would just say that, it's a massive bubble, and it's extremely difficult to value,
Right.
do any intrinsic work on what Bitcoin should be worth.
David, do governments, including Canada, have established more conservative than the U.S. with their monetary history? Do governments have a responsibility to burst the bubble, or do they wait for the market to do it?
I don't think that it's the government's responsibility to burst any bubble. But I think at some point you are going to find more of a proliferation of government-led digital currencies that'll act as some form of competition. Part of the problem here, of course, is that you can argue that Bitcoin is somewhat related to the lack of faith in fiat currencies. So it's a self-defeating prophecy. But governments aren't there to burst any bubbles. And look, the thing about Bitcoin is the last time it behaved like this, in such a speculative fervor, notwithstanding the fact that, you might have, wealthy fund managers calling for higher Bitcoin prices and are actually putting their own money behind it. The reality is that the chart just looks absolutely crazy right now. And the last time it undertook this degree of speculative fervor, which was in late 2017, it went on to have an 80% bear market. I mean, the thing about Bitcoin, and the reason why it's not really a valid investment thesis, is that it's so bloody volatile. It's 5 times the volatility of gold.